Good evening. You're tuned in to Emo Nightly News every moment online. Here are the headlines. Farmers encouraged to explore ginger production post-harvest. DSWMC celebrates young environmental champions at Essay Competition Awards. Fuel prices hold steady in St. Lucia. LPG sees increase. Trans-Anguilla Airways expands with new route to Tortola. Apple names John Turners as new CEO, marking end of Tim Cook era. High-level U.S. delegation visits Cuba amid rising tensions. And Windward selectors name 14 for regional under-19 championships. Details of these stories and more coming up next. Stay with us.
Across our Caribbean, we're going digital, working smarter and living safer online.
In Dominica, we don't fall for fake prices. We check before we click.
In Grenada, we verify before we share, keeping our hard-earned money safe from hackers.
In St. Lucia, we report cyberbullying, protecting our children and each other.
In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we report scams fast, protecting our neighbors and our communities.
Together, we're building a cyber-smart Caribbean, keeping our people and our data safe, standing up to scams and cybercrime. We stay connected, but always alert. This message is brought to you by the Caribbean Digital Transformation Project. Stay smart, stay safe. Think Card TP. Visit cardtpconnect.org.
Welcome back. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis, and this is the news broadcast for the 21st of April, 2026. In local news this evening, the town of Portsmouth has rebranded one of its signature events and is set to launch with a bang this Jazz and Creole season. The event, dubbed the Jazz and Breakfast Village, will be held from May 2 to May 4, 2026 at the Indian River parking lot. Let's hear more from Nikhil Didier.
We have embraced a new identity, Jazz and Breakfast Village, a name that reflects both the musical heartbeat of the event and the expanded experience we now offer. This 3-day experience is more than just an event. It is a celebration of music, culture, cuisine, community, and the natural beauty that defines our island. From the very first morning, Jazz and Breakfast Village invites you to indulge your senses. Imagine the smooth sounds of live jazz and local rhythms blending with the aroma of freshly prepared breakfast, all set against the scenic backdrop of Portsmouth and the nearby Indian River.
Didier says the event will cater to both young and old, as well as locals and visitors alike.
It is a space where families, friends, and visitors can gather, relax, and truly enjoy the spirit of Dominica. Beyond the atmosphere, we've carefully curated an experience that highlights some of the best talents and businesses our island has to offer. Patrons can enjoy smooth selections from talented DJs such as DJ Rems, DJ Melbourne, and Emperor, all proudly representing the north of the island. That's just to name a few.
She also outlined what each day will offer.
Let me take a moment to walk you through what you can expect over the 3 incredible days. Saturday, May 2nd, 2026, Jazz by the River, where culture meets jazz, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. This is our flagship day designed especially for families and cultural celebration. From 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., patrons will enjoy a full lineup of live combos, DJ and attractions at a special rate. It's the perfect blend of culture, relaxation, and ecotourism. Sunday, May 3rd, 2026, Breakfast Line, the ultimate jazz pregame, 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. On Sunday, we shift into a more relaxed and soulful atmosphere. It's the perfect setting to unwind, connect, and enjoy great music environment. Monday, May 4th, 2026, Jazz After Party, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. We close the festival in style with a full entertainment from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Expect high energy performances, engaging music, and a vibrant crowd as we bring together live bands, DJs, and musicians one last time to celebrate an unforgettable weekend. And of course, what is a breakfast village without amazing food and drink? We are proud to feature a variety of vendors, including, just to name a few, Dequem, serving up delicious local flavors, the refreshing top-class Waters Station, the vibrant 3C Spotlight, and Golden Leaf, a cozy cafe and tea booth for those who enjoy a warm, relaxing start to their day.
The Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, also known as DSWMC, continues to commend schools across the island for their ongoing efforts to reduce plastic waste and protect the environment. As part of this initiative, Morancy and Sons made a donation this morning to Newtown Primary School, supporting the school's environmental programs and commitment to keeping its surroundings free from plastic bottles. Officials say the initiative plays a key role in encouraging students to adopt sustainable habits while contributing to a cleaner and healthier Dominica. The DSWMC is urging all schools to continue participating in the program, reinforcing the importance of environmental responsibility and helping to ensure that Dominica remains clean, green, and pristine. The DSWMC has also successfully concluded its second annual environmental essay competition with a vibrant prize-giving ceremony held at the UWI Open Campus Auditorium. The event highlighted the creativity and passion of students from across Dominica, who spent 3 months advocating for a cleaner and greener environment. The initiative forms part of DSWMC's ongoing Sort at Source campaign aimed at promoting sustainable waste management practices nationwide. In the 1st to 3rd form category, Kinaya Revere of Portsmouth Secondary School captured first place with 81 points. She was also followed by Kamaya Gordon in 2nd place and Netanya Zamor of Convent High School in 3rd. The 4th to 5th form category saw an unprecedented tie for first place, with Daniel Ferreira and Miley St. Rose both scoring 95 points. Kiana Aaron of Isaiah Thomas Secondary School placed 2nd, while Sienna Andrew secured 3rd place. At the college level, Serena Harris of Dominica State College emerged as the top performer with 92 points. 2nd place went to Sadera Maglaw of Business Training Center, followed by Kimberly Teat in 3rd. DSWMC expressed gratitude to students, teachers, parents, and sponsors whose support made the initiative a success. Officials say the competition continues to empower young people to take an active role in environmental stewardship, helping to shape a more sustainable future for Dominica. Also in local news this evening, Flow customers in the northern region are currently experiencing connectivity issues, and service providers say efforts are underway to resolve the problem. According to the company, the disruption is being caused by external network interference and not a failure within its own system. Teams have been put actively working since June to reduce the impact and restore full service to affected customers. In a recent update, the company explained the situation through its Tech Talk platform, outlining the cause of the issue, the steps being taken, and the progress made so far.
Good day and welcome to another episode of Tech Talk brought to you by Flow. Today I have here with me the director of the NTRC as well as our fixed maintenance supervisor here at Flow. Today we'll be talking about a very peculiar issue that has been occurring in the north of the island, impacting connectivity.
The issue went back all the way to June 11th, the night of June 11th. We got complaints next morning of people cannot use the service, people cannot make calls, data browsing slow, the phone is offline, going off network, on net. And when we carried out our investigation, we found out that our accessibility just went all the way from 99.9% to an average around 50%.
After investigating the interference, we found that the issue stemmed from a company in Guadeloupe called Ultramed basically turned on their 5G networks. And because of the band plan incompatibility between Europe, or Region 1, and Region 2, which is the Americas, Guadeloupe being France, right? Some major interference started to happen in the north.
But because of the elevation, how high some of these places are, it doesn't make a difference because the signal comes right across and overwhelm our antennas.
The provider also confirmed it is working closely with the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, NTRC, and international partners to address the matter. While improvements have been achieved, testing and monitoring are still ongoing. Customers are being thanked for their patience as the company reiterates its commitment to restoring reliable connectivity as quickly as possible. The National Association of Youth in Agriculture, also known as NAYA, is gearing up for its 2026 annual general meeting, set to take place on Wednesday, April 22, at the Roseau Fisheries Complex Conference Room. Held under the theme, Growing the Future, Youth Leading Agriculture Forward. The AGM will run from 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., bringing together young people passionate about agriculture, along with stakeholders in the sector. President Mr. Earl White addressed the upcoming meeting, encouraging youth across Dominica to get involved and be part of shaping the future of agriculture. He emphasized the importance of youth participation in driving innovation, sustainability, and growth within the agricultural sector. Mr. White also extended an open invitation to both current members and interested young persons to attend the AGM, noting that it provides a valuable platform for networking, learning, and contributing to national development.
National Association of Youth in Agriculture, better known as NAYA, which is one of the leading youth-led agricultural organizations in Dominica. We advocate for policies regarding youth and youth in agriculture, and we are excited to be hosting our annual general meeting tomorrow, Wednesday, 22nd of April 2026, at the Roseau Fisheries Complex Conference Room. It's going to be just for a few hours. The youths involved in agriculture from around the island, we come together, we do our annual report, our finances, and then of course the election of officers. So we're asking all interested persons, you could come down tomorrow and get registered. We start from 9:30 a.m. and we're going to be done by 1 p.m. So we're asking all young persons involved in agriculture in Dominica to come on down tomorrow. Thank you.
Organizers say the event will focus on empowering young farmers, promoting modern agricultural practices, and strengthening the role of youth in ensuring food security and economic resilience. All NAYA members, as well as youth interested in agriculture, are encouraged to attend and be part of the movement to advance the sector. A specialized training on medical response to radiological emergencies was held in Jamaica from April 13 to 17, 2026, bringing together participants from across the region. Representing the Dominica Hospitals Authority were Dr. Carl Monroe, officer in charge of accident and emergency, and Guinness Pascal Ferrer Iglesias, coordinator of imaging services. The training was organized by the International Atomic Energy Agency for CARICOM member states, with a focus on strengthening regional preparedness for radiological incidents. Participants received in-depth training on ionizing radiation sources, radiation protection principles, and the potential health effects of exposure. The program also aimed to build practical skills in identifying radiation-related injuries, managing affected individuals, and implementing effective emergency response strategies. Officials say the initiative highlights a continued commitment to improving radiation safety and strengthening emergency preparedness across the Caribbean region. And finally, in local news, the Ministry of Agriculture is encouraging farmers to consider ginger production as a strategic next step following the completion of the potato harvest. With fields already prepared, officials say this is an ideal time to introduce ginger as an alternative crop. The ministry notes that ginger continues to see strong market demand, offers the potential for attractive returns, and requires relatively low labor inputs, making it a practical option for farm diversification and increased income. Farmers are also being urged to utilize the WUSC crop calendar, a resource officially endorsed to support planning and decision-making. The crop calendar provides clear, step-by-step guidance on crop scheduling and production processes, helping farmers improve efficiency and better manage their operations. In addition, farmers are encouraged to connect with their nearest extension team for tailored support, including technical guidance, recommended production practices, and assistance with sourcing quality planting material. The ministry reaffirmed its commitment to supporting sustainable and profitable agricultural development as it continues to promote smart farming practices across the sector. And that's all for local news this evening. Stay tuned for regional news coming up next. And now for regional news. In Castries, the government of St. Lucia has announced its latest fuel price adjustment for the period April 20 to May 10, 2026, with most petroleum products remaining unchanged. Gasoline and diesel prices will both remain at $3.52 per liter or $16 per imperial gallon, while kerosene also stays steady at $2.12 per liter or $9.66 per imperial gallon. Cooking gas prices for 20-pound and 22-pound cylinders are unchanged at $34 and $38 respectively.50 consumers will see an increase in larger LPG supplies. The 100-pound cylinder has risen from $238.50 to $263.50, while bulk LPG has moved from $2.26 to $2.51 per pound. The government says it continues to cushion the impact of rising global oil prices through subsidies. Diesel is currently subsidized at $2.34 per imperial gallon, while kerosene carries a subsidy of $8.61 per gallon. LPG subsidies remain significant, with over $36 applied to 20-pound cylinders and over $39 for 22-pound cylinders. Officials note that without these subsidies, consumers would be paying over $70 for a 20-pound cylinder and more than $77 for a 22-pound cylinder. The government says these measures are aimed at protecting households and key sectors from global price shocks. The next fuel price review is scheduled for May 11, 2026. Also in regional news, UNICEF has congratulated the newly elected executive of the Barbados National Student Council for the 2026-2027 term, highlighting the importance of youth leadership and student participation in shaping education systems. The new executive team includes President Shakir Daisley, Vice Presidents Janae Husbands and Nara Clark, and General Secretary Destiny Rose. In a statement, UNICEF noted that the milestone reflects Barbados' strong commitment to empowering students, ensuring they are not only represented but actively involved in shaping the future of their education. The Barbados National Student Council continues to play a critical role in amplifying student voices, contributing to decision-making and promoting a more inclusive, relevant, and forward-thinking education system. UNICEF reaffirmed its commitment to supporting student leadership across Barbados and the wider Eastern Caribbean, emphasizing that when students are given a voice, education systems become stronger and more effective. And finally, in regional news, the government of Anguilla, in collaboration with the Anguilla Tourist Board, has congratulated Trans-Anguilla Airways on the launch of its inaugural flight to Tortola. The milestone was celebrated by government officials, fellow pilots, tourism representatives, and the island's newly appointed Junior Minister of Tourism, marking a significant step forward for regional aviation and connectivity. The new service will operate 3 times weekly on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, providing a reliable link between Anguilla and the British Virgin Islands. With an approximate flight time of just 45 minutes, the route offers faster and more convenient travel between the 2 destinations. Officials say the expansion strengthens regional ties while opening up new opportunities for tourism and economic growth. The new connection is also expected to improve accessibility for travelers and support deeper collaboration among neighboring islands. The government of Anguilla described the development as a positive step for the aviation sector and a reflection of continued commitment to regional development and connectivity. And that's all for regional news this evening. Stay tuned for international news coming up next.
Blast Gaming presents its biggest job whatever. Blast Mystery Progressive. I'm so excited. I can't hide it. In your blast jackpot rising. And I like it. It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up and up and up and up.
Play selected games to win in the Blast Mystery Progressive. Pick until you match 3 gems and win one of the 5 cash jackpots. Or you can blast up with the Mystery Progressive jackpot.
It's going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up. Blast Gaming.
And now for international news. Apple Inc. has announced a major leadership change, with John Turner set to become CEO on September 1, replacing Tim Cook after 15 years. Turner's, currently head of hardware engineering, has been with Apple for 25 years. Cook will remain through the summer before becoming executive chairman. Since taking over from Steve Jobs in 2011, Cook led Apple to record growth, including a $1 trillion valuation in 2018. The company is now valued at about $4 trillion. Cook called Turner a visionary leader, while analysts say the move signals a stronger focus on product innovation and emerging areas like artificial intelligence and wearables. The transition comes as Apple faces growing competition from rivals investing heavily in artificial intelligence. A senior delegation from the U.S. State Department has held talks in Cuba, marking one of the highest-level visits between the 2 countries in nearly a decade. The visit comes as U.S. President Donald Trump increases pressure on Havana with economic restrictions and warnings of possible military action. Talks focus on economic reforms, private sector growth, foreign investment, expanding internet access, and compensation for confiscated U.S. assets. The U.S. also called for the release of political prisoners and greater freedoms. Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel described the meeting as respectful but stressed that lifting the U.S. embargo remains a priority. The visit is the most significant since Barack Obama traveled to Cuba in 2016, signaling a key moment in relations between the 2 nations. And finally, in international news, the Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago has participated in a high-level roundtable hosted by the U.S. Department of State, aimed at boosting investment in Caribbean port infrastructure. The meeting brought together regional leaders, policymakers, and U.S. stakeholders to strengthen trade, connectivity, and economic growth. The initiative supports increased U.S. private sector investment in modern resilient port systems, backed by an initial $10 million for regional development. Officials say Trinidad and Tobago's involvement helps position the country to attract investment and modernize its ports, reinforcing its role as a key Caribbean trade and logistics hub. And that's all for international news this evening. Stay tuned for the sports segment coming up next.
Tico, that's $800. Cash or card?
When cash is low, Tico is still ready.
Always card, Chalo. Would you like a copy of the receipt?
No, Chalo. NBD already sent me the alert and I'll see it on Mo Banking later. That is it. From card to farm. Power your business with the NBD Small Business Credit Card. Your partner, your bank.
And now for the sports segment. The Executive Board of Commonwealth Sport will meet in Barbados next week as part of efforts to strengthen ties with member countries. The visit is part of an on-the-road approach, allowing direct engagement with local sporting bodies, government officials, and stakeholders. Activities will also highlight Barbados' indigenous sport, road tennis. Following the meeting, President Donald Rukar will lead a delegation to Antigua and Barbuda for talks ahead of the 2026 Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. Rukar says hosting meetings across regions strengthens relationships and expands sport's global impact. Meanwhile, Sandra Osborne says Barbados is honored to host and showcase its rich sporting culture. The meeting is expected to deepen ties between Commonwealth sport and the Caribbean while promoting cultural exchange. The Windward Islands Cricket Board panel of selectors have selected a squad of under-19 players to compete at the 2026 Regional Rising Stars Male Under-19 Championship later this year. The squad was announced at the closing ceremony following the conclusion of the sixth and final round of matches in the 2026 Windward Islands Under-19 Cricket Tournament, which was held in Dominica, April 11 to 18, 2026. The 14-man squad is as follows: Theo Edward, captain; Esinio Fontaine, vice-captain; Derwin Lewis; Kevon Bartholomew; Zach Thomas; Aidan Burton; Jonathan Daniel; Cody Fontanelle; Aravinda Bishop; Kevin Joseph; Elron Glasgow; Kazando Henry; Nathaniel Joseph; and Tyler Venner. The reserves are Jawan Adams, Bjorn Fanis, Neil Poyot, Rakim Louis Charles, Jamie Wickham, Shamel Hilaire, Deron Mitchell, and Dylan John, with the coach being John Eugene, assistant coach Junior Murray, and manager Javid Harry. And finally, in the sports segment, the action continued in the KFC National Volleyball League over the weekend, delivering 6 thrilling matches across 2 venues. On Saturday at the stadium forecourt, the weather held just long enough for Portsmouth Breakers to claim a 3-0 victory over KT Tacklers in the Division 2 encounter. It was a challenging day for Celtics as both their women's and men's teams suffered straight set defeats to Acers and Young Vets, respectively. Meanwhile, in Marigot, Club 1 traveled to take on Sunrise in an exciting triple header at the Wales hardcourt. Club 1B managed to edge past a resilient Sunrise side in Division 2, but Sunrise responded strongly, securing a straight sets win in the women's contest. The weekend concluded in dramatic fashion with yet another 5-set thriller in Division 1. Club 1 delivered an impressive reverse sweep to overcome Sunrise, capping off an unforgettable weekend of volleyball action. And that's all for the sports segment this evening. Stay tuned for the weather report coming up next. And now for the weather report. Cloudy periods with a few showers are expected as a low-level trough affects the area, although conditions remain relatively dry. Expect partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a few passing showers. Mooring conditions will be slight to moderate, with seas up to 5 feet along the east coast and near 3 feet on the west coast. And that's all for the weather report. And as always, stay informed and stay safe. And that's a wrap for tonight's news broadcast for the 21st of April, 2026. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis. On behalf of the entire newscast, we say thank you for viewing. This is Emo Nightly News, every moment online. Good night.